decided to make some pozole. Now this is not your typical pozole. It's usually pork and your homemade salsa that you're gonna put in there and make it really tasty, but I'm using Las Palmas enchilada sauce. Alright guys, this is gonna be quick and easy. I made a video of this, oh my gosh, probably 15 years ago on my old channel. I don't think I brought it to this channel, so we're gonna do it again. It's super simple, and I like to make chicken pozole because again, I'm not messing with pork and make sure that it's nice and soft and all that kind of stuff, right, when you're cooking down. It's just chicken. You can use a whole chicken. You want chicken with bones with a little bit of skin. We're gonna get rid of the skin and the bones later, but basically you're gonna start boiling maybe 5, 6, 7 cups of water, and then like this is how many pounds? Almost 4 pounds of chicken. If I was making a bigger batch, like this is gonna last a few days for a family of 5, which is what we have. But you can use a whole chicken. Just make sure it's not like just chicken breast or something that might get dry. You can do chicken breast, but you're gonna have to cook it less time, and it just might not be as good as if you were using chicken thighs or something like that to begin with. So 4 pounds of meat, and that's just because I grabbed this pack and that's good, 2 pounds of meat, whatever, it doesn't matter because the flavor is going to come from the bones and the broth you're going to make, but you have the enchilada sauce and whatever else. For the pozole, the other thing you always need to have is hominy, and I just grabbed this because it was on sale. Juanita's getting tied up with this thing. They might even have a recipe on here for basically what I'm denoting here, but Mexican style hominy, whatever as you like. Sometimes they have a white and yellow one. If you want to use that, use that. I'm probably going to use half this can. This is the big can. This is the 6 pounds, so I'll probably use 3 pounds of it. There is liquid weight in there, so pour out the liquid. We don't want that liquid in our pozole. You just want the hominy. Some people wash it. You can wash it. I just pour out the liquid and then just throw it in. Okay, so I'll probably use half of this can. You're going to need a little onion, a little garlic, and very little garlic, probably a whole onion just to give it some flavor. You're going to scoop that out anyway. You don't normally serve it with the pieces of onion that people are going to eat it that way. It's just to get flavor. So we're going to take care of that in a minute. I like to serve mine with oregano, just a little bit of that, a little bit of chopped up, finely chopped onion, and cabbage, shredded cabbage on top. Maybe a little chile, maybe a little cholula, some tapatio, whatever you like. As far as that, for me, this is spicy enough. And then, like I said, the flavoring for the actual pozole, I like to use enchilada sauce. This comes in mild, medium, and hot. So this happens to be mild. Usually I grab medium. They just didn't have it, so I was like, whatever, I'll take mild because people can put chile as they want. So again, in a pot right now, I have boiling, almost ready to boil, or at the boil, about 5 or 6 cups of water. You really want this broth to be really concentrated. So if you really fill it up with water, you're gonna have to put a lot of chicken because the flavor is really coming from this chicken and the onion and stuff. Obviously salt. I think that's it. So let me see if the water is boiling yet. What I'm gonna do is open up this package of chicken. I usually cut a little bit of see this extra stuff. I get rid of that, whatever extra fat might be there. You don't need all of that skin. You just want some for the flavor, a little bit of fat in there. You want the bone in there and all that. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the skin off. So I have a whole onion. I just cut it in quarters because you want big chunks because, again, you're not really going to serve it. You kind of want to fish it out. If you want to just use half an onion, use half an onion. I'm just going to use the whole thing. I have about 3 garlic cloves here. They kept breaking on me, but you want to keep them intact so you can just fish those out too. And then I kind of cleaned up the chicken a little bit. Like I said, I took some of the skin off, so it's still bones. I didn't take any of the meat off, just take some of the skin off. And I'm going to go ahead and add this to my water right now so it can get boiling with some flavor going already. And then some salt. So this already has salt too. You're obviously adding salt so that this chicken will taste good, but I don't know. I just eyeball it, guys. A teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. I know that's a whole difference, but I buy a can of salt and it lasts me a year and a half. Like, I don't use that much salt, so whatever you think you should do for yours, that's great. You are going to keep that broth, so you're going to eat the broth. It's part of the meal. So you don't want to over salt it, obviously, because then it'll be gross. I don't know if I mentioned at the top also tostadas. I like to have tostadas on the side, and then lime. A little squeeze of lime, of course. But I'll show you how I dress it up at the very end. So right now we're just going to put this into the water, and once the water gets to boiling, we're going to add the chicken. The water's already kind of getting there. It doesn't matter. Just add it in now, add it in with the chicken. Doesn't matter. Just whenever you feel like adding that in. And again, the salt, okay? Salt now. If you want to add it once you put the chicken in, then put salt, but do not forget to put salt. Obviously, you want your chicken to have a little seasoning. I don't do pepper in this, so you can add it at the end if you really want to put some pepper in. I don't know. I just use well, do I put pepper? Sometimes, maybe. I don't know. It just depends on how I'm feeling. If you want to add pepper, but I would do that at the end. Let's give it a look. See? I would like more of a rolling boil because it's going to turn off once I add the chicken, but that's okay. So I'm just going to put in the chicken and just Place it in there carefully and let it come to a boil again. And then we'll put the lid on and let it simmer for a very long time because we want the chicken basically falling off the bone. Okay, as you can see, it totally killed the boil because it's cold chicken. I will say, see how the water came all the way up? That's what I'm saying. Start with like 6 cups of water or so. As you put the chicken in, it's going to really come up a lot more. And then we're also going to pour in that enchilada sauce. So you want to give yourself some room. And we also need the little hominy to get in here. I'm probably going to remove some water. And all this stuff, again, it's cooking. It's not baking. Baking is science. Cooking is more of like to taste, whatever you think. Let's feel it out. So I'm going to take some of this water out. Okay, I took about 2 cups of water out. I hope you can see how much lower it is. I'm going to let this come to a boil. Then we're going to put the lid on and let it simmer for maybe 20 or 30 minutes before we even look at it again. Okay, I went out, let me turn off this fan, and got my tripod. So this boil is pretty good. It can be a rolling boil, whatever. If you want to scrape the little scum stuff, that they call it scum, I don't know what to tell you. A horrible word, but you can scrape that off the top as best you can. And you can do that every once in a while because it's going to continue doing that just like any other stew or whatever. I'm going to go ahead and reduce the heat. I had it on high heat because I just like to get the heat in it. I'm not trying to baby this. And we're going to put the lid on it and we're going to let it boil 20-30 minutes at least. And just keep an eye. If it's boiling too hard, turn it down. But you're looking to simmer it. You really just want that meat to cook down and come off the bone basically, or make it easy to take it off the bone. So we're gonna do that and then put the meat back in. So I'm just keeping an eye, making sure it doesn't boil over. Okay, so it's been about 25-30 minutes. I'm using my sleeve here. And I really want the meat coming off the bone just to make it easier to take it all off. So I'm probably gonna leave it another 10 minutes. Sounds good. I just open this so you guys can see what that looks like. Generally, I open it a little bit and leave it down so I can drain it. So I'm going to push that back down, but that's what it looks like. So you're trying to drain off the liquid. I usually leave the bottom part there because I'm going to dump that into like a Ziploc bag and put it in the freezer because this stuff freezes just fine. Just thaw it and use it, for the next batch. But like I said, I use about half this can. So I'm going to drain that off and then put the ones I'm going to use in this container. I'm doing this while the chicken is finishing up. Okay, again, sorry I have the fan on. That looks better. Like I said, however long it takes, especially if you're using a whole chicken, to really just get that meat coming away from the bone as much as you can. So what I do now is I usually just take a few pieces at a time and put them on a plate because what I'm going to do is get rid of the skin, get rid of the bones, and get rid of these onions. So many onions you can dish out. Go ahead and do that. You're not going to eat those. They're just there for flavor. I suppose if you want to eat them, you can. But so I take out a few pieces at a time and shred them up, and I'll show you what that looks like. Ooh, we don't want a lot of the liquid. Okay, I'll put the lid back on, and I'll show you what I mean about this. Okay, so this is blazing hot. So what you're going to do, you can let it sit for a little bit. I like to just work quickly and get it back in. But we're going to ditch all that. All this liquid here, I kind of hold everything back and I pour it back in whenever I take the chicken back, but I use a couple of forks because again, it's super hot. Get rid of the skin and just make hunks or shred it if you want. Cut it in pieces, whatever you want. Whatever kind of bite you want from these, do that. And I just do a few pieces at a time and then put them back in the pot. You don't get rid of the liquid, the cooking liquid, we're going to use that. So just take everything off until this bone is bare and do that with all of them and then throw those bits away. We don't want the skin or the bones, okay? All right, back. So just take the shredded chicken and put it back in and then grab 3 or 4 more hunks. Like that's how I do it. Obviously you can remove it all at once. I'm going to grab a few other ones and shred those too. Okay, so when I come back, all the chicken will be shredded and added back in. Okay guys, so everything is in there. It's just the shredded chicken and the broth. If you want to skim off a little bit of the fat on the top, you can do that now, you can do it later. It's always good to get rid of a little bit of that fat. And that's kind of why I took the skin off some of them, or the excess skin. Okay, so it's back to a boil. And I'm just gonna put this in here. I usually drop it in a different way, but I'm trying to do this nice for the video. I don't know how hard. I usually just drop it from the can, just kind of So again, that's about 4 cups. It's whatever you want. We really like the hominy, so I like quite a bit of hominy in there. Okay, we already fished out all the, you know, as much of the onion as we could. Now we're gonna add in the enchilada sauce. Now this is not enchilada soup, or it should not be enchiladas. So this is a big guy because these are usually on sale for cheaper than if you bought the smaller one. So that's, you know, it's 1 pound, 12 ounces. So all I do is just make a couple little holes with your can opener and just open it up a little bit and give it a good shake before you do any of this. And let's go ahead and pour that in there. Now I will say this is Las Palmas brand. It's not the one I usually get. I think I usually get like Herdes or some other, because this is like bright red. The other one's usually more of a burgundy red. But that looks good. It's really there for color, obviously for flavor, but we're not pouring the whole thing in, okay? Maybe about half the can. And then I put the other half in a freezer bag and freeze it for the next time I make pozole also. So that should be pretty good. We're gonna let that heat up, cook through. Let me grab my pepper. Okay, so I already have some pepper. If you want to do fresh ground, of course. Like I said before, I do pepper, I don't do pepper. If I forget, I remember, it doesn't matter. Honestly, the flavor's coming from the chicken that you did. Now, let's say you taste this, because the chicken's already cooked through, everything's cooked. I mean, the hominy, you're just reheating it, basically. And doesn't taste very chickeny, like the broth is kind of lacking. You can definitely hit it with some nor, some chicken bouillon, because you're trying to get the flavor from the chicken, but at the same time, if you didn't quite get it, you missed the mark a little bit, throw in some bouillon, honestly. It's not a big deal. Ooh, this is perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna put my spoon over here so I can wash it because I just tasted it. It tastes really good. If you need to add more salt, add bouillon. You know, if the flavor isn't quite there, especially when you're first making this. Every time I made it, I was so disappointed. I'm like, oh, I have to add bouillon just to give it more flavor. But that's okay. You know, it just, you know, maybe you had too much water, not enough chicken, whatever. But that's why I said use less water, more chicken, and you're going to be happier with your result. But if you need to add a little bouillon, add a little bouillon. It's fine. So this tastes perfect to me. So I'm going to let it come back up to a boil and then just, you know, put the lid on it and let it cook another 10 or 15 minutes. You're just warming everything through and letting everything marry real well. And then I'm not quite ready to eat dinner, but I'll show you how I would prepare it. Okay guys, I hope you can hear me because I still have the fan on. The soup is boiling away. My son was sitting over here as I'm making this. He got out early for school with finals week, and I was like, oh, you got to taste this, you know, the broth. And he's like, oh, that's good. So I'm like, yay, because seriously, probably one of the very only times where I didn't have to punch up the flavor, so I'm really happy with that. But anyway, a lime. I do like to use lime. A little onion, a little cabbage. I like cabbage better, but you can use lettuce. It's gonna have a thinner feel to it, and when it hits the heat of the soup, it's gonna really wilt down, but it's still good. And then, of course, serve it with some tostadas. And I like the ones that are doraditas, a little bit darker. I love that. And so basically, obviously, your lime, you're just gonna... This is for people to use as they're, you know, making their plate. Oh, and then I like oregano. And the oregano, I didn't put it here because you don't have to do anything but put some on there. Some people say that's only for menudo. The difference between menudo and pozole is menudo is tripe, right? Really very similar things, but you use tripe. So with this guy, and I can't really do this here very easily, you want to cut it really small. I mean, you don't want to take big old bites of onion that's just raw onion. I mean, maybe you do, I don't know, but you just slice it up really, really small. Like I said, it's not quite dinner time yet, and it's past lunchtime at this point, so I'm super happy to have made this because honestly, we eat it for days on end, and no one's complaining because it's so good. So again, just a bunch of slices, and then this way, and I'm probably making this nicer because I'm on video, otherwise the pieces might be a little bigger. So anyway, just finish that up. I'll finish cutting that up, you get the idea. And then you have like these, hopefully you saw it, I don't know if you can see it, there you go. And then this guy, I already washed it, so you're just gonna cut it almost coleslaw-ish, right? So whatever you need to do to get really thin slices of this, maybe not as coleslaw-ish as you think, but just slice it up. I might have been going the wrong direction because it's leaving big chunks. So you turn it the other way and do it that way. Okay, so just gonna cut that up, and the pozole is pretty much done. I'll be back. guys, this guy is pretty much ready, so I'm gonna turn the fan off, turn this off, and again, oh, I gotta go back through the whole thing of the fan. You're just looking to, you know, cook it through. Sorry, some of the liquid's getting on my burner here. And so let's serve this up. Okay, I'm gonna use a small bowl because, like I said, I'm not quite ready to eat, so I'm just gonna put a little bit, but you know, serve it up real nice and big like you would at a restaurant, right? Get some of that broth in there. Maybe use a ladle, not just a regular spoon like this one. I'm gonna throw back a piece of this meat because honestly it's still too much for what I want to do right now. Okay, and meet me over at our garnishes. So on this part, it's whatever you like. So, you know, I'm gonna grab some cabbage. If I cut up the cabbage like I did early, I would put it in a bowl of water until it's like dinner time, but let's grab some cabbage. I would put tons more, just so you know, I really love the cabbage. Get some onion. A little oregano again, because that's what I like, and that's not typical, but that's what I like, so that's what I put on there. I do have some already. I just wasn't sure if I had enough, so that's why I bought a little oregano. I usually buy a big old huge jar of it, or a container of it. A little oregano, again, that's what I prefer, quite a bit for even that amount of soup. And a little squeeze of lime. And I like it very lemony, or lime lime I think is more traditional. At least that's what I like. And get these tostadas open. Oh. And of course the one on top is already a little bit broken. Not too bad. And I usually just kind of serve on the side. If you put it in there, it's going to get soggy. So, you know, generally everybody just throws on whatever they like. I don't usually do all this for everybody. Well, other than the kids. I guess my husband. He's the only one that kind of hooks it up himself. But let me get a picture of this. Okay, guys, sorry about that. I did take a few pictures. I'm not a photographer. I'm not a chef. I just cook here at home. So obviously it's not perfect. Look, my lime was, you know, looking like this. It's fine. It's food. Okay. Real food. Okay, so generally you just take a bite, but let's try it out. Yep. A little crunchiness from the cabbage, from the onion, and then, I mean, you can dip this little guy in here and get yourself some of the food, you know, get yourself some chicken on there. If I could do this with one hand, nope, can't do it. Just a little piece of hominy. So good. Let me finish this bite. Okay, I finished my bite and then I grabbed a little more, another bite. Really good. Hit it with some tapatio, whatever hot sauce you like if you want a little hotter soup. But that's it, guys. So, like I said, I posted this video 14, 15 years ago. I heard from a lot of people who say that's their recipe now. That's what they've been doing. It's so good. So just try it out. Have fun with it. In my first video, I might have used chicken breast, but I don't think I did. Anyway, a mix of chicken breast and chicken thigh, whatever you want to do. It's really good. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a, you know, a happy holiday, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.